the beginning of our marriage, I was that. I was like, I wouldn't say alpha, but I was like, yeah, I can do whatever.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to our Safe Space podcast brought to you by our Women and Wealth community. My name is Aisya, Rahman, and today we are with a special guest, our student and our alumni from Cohort 6 Women and Wealth Workshop, introducing Ruzanna. Welcome to our podcast, Ruzanna. So how are you doing?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you, Aisya, for having me today.
I'm really honored and privileged because I know at the time of recording right now, you are preparing for something big, but we're going to keep that for later. Now, if you don't mind, could you introduce yourself to our audience?
So my name is Ruzanna. I am a home manager who wears many hats, and I'm from Cohort 6.
When you say many hats, elaborate further if you don't mind, like in buckets perhaps. So as a home manager, and then?
I also do part-time life planner and a mother to two beautiful children, and holding many duties as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister. There's a lot on the plate right now.
It is a lot, right? People always think being a home manager is the easiest thing, but honestly, it is the hardest thing ever. Alright, now prior to this, before we're going to go back to the past, maybe walk us through, because I've seen you transform and it's such an honor. Thank you so much for giving me that safe space to be in your space and observe your transformation. It's really immense. Now let's go back to the past, where if you can share a little bit about your first relationship with money and what influenced that relationship.
Thank you, Aisya, for asking that question. So I have not shared with you much about this before, but I actually come from a broken family where my late father actually has a second family. So growing up, money was used more as a way to suppress or conceal the bigger and deeper wounds. I got used to that concept of money because that's just how things has been since I was small. Money it's just something to make you happy, and it's a temporary problem solver. So we use the money more for like frivolous things, for travels, and I wish it was different. I used it better, wiser, but we all learn from our past. So that was me growing up. That was pre-marriage, pre-work and life. But my relationship with money kind of transitioned into something else when I got married and I started my family. Then you realize that it has become a source of worry for me at times.
So what wasn't a worry before because it was enough, then became opposite ends as you transitioned and became a parent yourself.
Yes,
okay,
correct.
In what way?
So obviously being a parent, we worry about our children, like if their education, are we giving the best as our parents did, so there's always that benchmark we hold on to. So it became a source of worry, and I felt like it was very unhealthy, and I think it's related to us not using money or wealth as a tool, and instead like I let it control us, control our emotions. It was not pleasant, but alhamdulillah, with all the support that we have today, I'm improving. I got better at managing that. The thing that improved my relationship with money was actually tawakal. So me remember me sharing that how it became into a source of worry to the point where I feel like, where does this end? And then I realized that I may have misplaced tawakal in me, and that's where I took a step back and put it all into perspective and learned that we have been given the knowledge to power ourselves and change it to as a tool.
So can I ask, maybe I want to jump back a little bit, because I know you as a homemaker today, but you were never a homemaker before. So there's a lot of women out there who struggle between, do I focus on my kids or do I focus on my career growth? So if you can talk a little bit about that, before you finally decided to become a full-time homemaker or home manager, were you working before?
Yes, so before I was in corporate com, and then after that I was with Wisma Putra for 2 years plus as a contract officer, because at the time we were hosting ASEAN 2015 and they needed like more manpower. I was privileged to be a part of that, and then I got married and rezeki kahwin, perhaps, where my husband was given the opportunity to work in Perth, Australia. So that was, decision making. It was an important decision to make. We both decided that we would like to take that opportunity as newlyweds, start our family, start our married life together there. And then we did stay there for 2 years, and we had our first baby there, alhamdulillah. And we were moving a lot at the time. So we were in Australia, and then after that we moved to Baku, Azerbaijan. Then we came back to Malaysia. We moved again to Perth, Australia, and back here, and now inshallah we will move to Denmark in coming months. Your question was how would I like to advise women?
Yeah, I was contemplating.
Yeah.
Do I focus on my career because I work so hard? I'm an independent woman. Those are the values that you uphold. Versus then relocating, specifically like you relocating, right? And then probably explore a job when you relocate, or just focus on your newborn. What was that transition like for you? Let's talk about your professional side first. To give up your, hard work, your career. How did that feel like?
In the beginning, it was still okay because you just had a baby and there's a lot of adapting to a new life, like a new role.
Did you have any support there in Perth when you were raising your newborn?
But I think they have a lot of support groups there. I was very lucky that I have a very strong mother support group in Australia. I have to say that after a few years, of course, you feel that loss of, I wouldn't say identity, but financial security that you have held to yourself.
Right.
But I don't see it as a disadvantage because I think it's very important for you to choose. That's where I think it's very important to choose the right partner where you can communicate this, because from the get-go we agreed that I will take a step back and focus on the family, and he does this. And until today, we still have this communication discussions together where he can start first and I follow suit, and it somehow will gel. You can't do it alone. You're married, you have a family, you have kids that you share with someone, your husband. It's a teamwork. You can't say, I sacrificed this. He's doing his part.
He's bringing in the transaction part and you're doing the transformation part.
Yes.
So this one is intangible, the other is tangible.
Correct.
And that's where the teamwork comes in.
Yeah, and I think it's important to not feel that you are constantly sacrificing, because at the end of the day, our niyat is for who? For Allah, right? And I'm happy to say that being at home with my kids, I was able to educate my kids the way I want to. Like now my daughter, lepas solat, baca ayat kursi, the things that I wanted for them.
It's materializing now in front of your eyes.
Yes. These are the things that you cannot compare apple to apple.
Definitely.
And it's a personal thing, right? Some people, they have other priorities. So different. It's a personal thing. It always comes back to teamwork and who are you doing it for actually. At the end of the day, it's not for yourself, not for your husband, not for your kids, it's for him.
I think that's a very good point, because I go on social media. That's what we do, right? We go on social media and then we observe the patterns and the complaints by women. And I do see on social media, especially threads, that women are complaining, my husband is not helping me with so much cash. I have to work and I also have to juggle the whole ministry part. So what are your thoughts on that? To inspire all these women who's going through that they have to find the cash, they also have to manage their home arrangements.
I think it's very important to sit down with your life partner. If you can't align these values, then how it's going to be stagnant, it's going to be stuck, it's going to break, it's going to burst at some point, right? And I think it's also important to not rush into things. I think you as a wife, as well, like it's a process. With your partners, it's a process. Like I want something from him, like this type of idea or anything that I would like him to do or apply. I don't just say, I want you to do that.
You don't demand and be bossy. There's a way, there's an art to speak to our husband, right?
Yes. Because at the end of the day, we're all like adults, even kids. You don't just keep telling them to do this, and that. They rebel, right? So ada cara. I'm pretty sure not everyone is lucky to have someone who can accept the way that some people do. But I guess I have to share that one of the things that I do is I actually lepas solat, I talk to him, I talk to Allah, and I ask what are the things that I would like to improve in my relationship with my husband. I do. And I have to tell you, it's humbling to see that I do see the
transformation. Just by asking from the creator.
It's amazing. Like, how do I manage this? Little things, it can be big things, it can be little things. But at the end of the day, Allah is the only one who can open up our hearts, their hearts, whoever, like husband or mom, whoever that you are trying to reach out to. He is the first door. He will open that door for that message to come across to the other person.
For comprehension, daya.
Because I have seen it, and after that I will say thank you lah. I see the results, I see the improvements.
MashaAllah, I think that's a very beautiful tip that you just shared, because a lot of women, they want to control their husband. That's very natural for women to be controlling. It's just in our DNA. But when it comes to spouses, try lah.
I tell you, it's not as easy as it sounds, but honestly, the beginning of our marriage. I was that. I was like, I wouldn't say alpha, but I was like, yeah, I can do whatever. I wasn't used to it. I have been on my own. Kan kita dah independent, dah biasa dengan making our own decisions. So it was
that
it was,
adjustment period, right?
The transition. I think the first 2 years, luckily lah, my husband put his foot down. You know, like, hey, you know what? You're married. I'm your husband. You know, so he set the bar already for me. So I kind of like, okay, I know when and how to tone it down, and you cannot be the same lah macam you dulu. Like, there's some adjustments to understand my new role.
That's a very good point, because we meet so many alpha women. I'm sure you know. I mean, in our cohort and the overall women in wealth, and more women out there that we are approaching. There is that disconnect when it comes to your finances, and then your leadership, your independence, and then to then migrate and blend with your ecosystem spouse being the immediate one.
Yeah, but I think that's where I find it very important that someone has to draw the line, because if not, either of us will overstep each other.
Definitely.
So kalau katakan my husband didn't draw the line for me, then maybe I'll be like, ada okay je? Okay lah. My husband pun, he's wise. He has been very supportive and helpful. Like, he helps me to be a better person.
Okay, so I want to come back to the topic of your husband and then the worries that you mentioned earlier. So as women, we tend to suppress, right, our worries, and it's just floating in our mind. Like, did you articulate those worries to your husband?
It was a shared worry. It was a shared worry together, because I think it started after that COVID period. I think I've shared with you where everything was good.
Prior to COVID, things were okay.
Yeah, blissful. Lepas tu, COVID happened, and then I think I shared with you, and the projects stopped coming, and then there's change that we had to make. Alhamdulillah, we are okay, we're comfortable, but the primary source of income was not there, right?
So meaning after COVID, there wasn't any income for a while from your husband?
Yeah, no primary.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were on like our other sources of income.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have the primary one at the time. But I think I shared with you before as well that it was a blessing in disguise, because it helped him pursue the industry that he's always been wanting to be a part of.
So it was different. The industry that he was in before COVID and after was a total.
Yes,
mashallah.
yes, and I tell you that it's quite inspiring. Like, when I saw him, he just did an online course throughout that period, and then he applied for a job, and he basically opened up a new opportunity for himself by his effort. Like, obviously in rezeki, that was a blessing in disguise, as I said. So he's from oil and gas to renewable energy.
It's the same, but because of oil and gas sustainability, ESG, so RE is the next thing.
Yeah, so he's been wanting to do that, but the timing was, you know, you always have excuses kan, macam belum lagi. And then for me, it opened up new opportunities as well, because we realized like, hey, cannot rely on one, and then it's also timely as well for me. But at the time, I just had my second baby.
Okay.
So it was a bit
and a toddler and then a newborn.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a bit tight, but busy, and so he focused on the growth, and then I followed suit after. So I try a lot of different things like translation and then a life planner, things like that. You have to go out there and just seek opportunities. I just did not want to limit myself to anything, and then he continued learning about financial literacy.
Okay.
He did all that, and then he shared it with me, you know, the progress and all that, because we're supposed to complement each other, right? So we're supposed to meet halfway. And as he was acquiring the knowledge, I really felt like it was very focused on monetary gains.
Transaction.
Yes, it's like money.
Right.
So I macam, okay.
That didn't sit well with you.
It was not complete.
Why
I felt like I rasa macam, is that all? Is that it? Like, is that the main goal? Like, it can't be just money. I rasa macam, takut lah. Kenapa kita macam just money kan?
That's a typical personal finance club or ecosystem. It's just grow. But what does it take to grow?
But I can also understand where he's coming from, because he's entering these financial courses, like what you shared before. You also felt the same. Like, it's very focused on profits and all that, right? But that's its purpose. So it serves its purpose, but what are you seeking? When he shared his progress with me, and then we start doing it together, so that's when we start investing, diversifying. So it was good, but something was just incomplete for me.
But did he feel that? Did he feel incomplete, or was that just you?
I think it was just me, because he's very focused on just that.
Men are very simple. Just give them an investment platform, they're good to go.
So he's very focused, and I knew that our role is to balance it out. I shared it with him eventually after I found you. So I shared with with him, like I've been wanting to find something like this, and I think this is it. This is her. This is the mentor that I would like to learn from. So that's where we merged. We both agreed, alhamdulillah, we have opened up a new space for us to discuss about the hereafter.
Oh, mashallah.
Which was not in the discussion before, because we're so focused on dunya. The only time we were talking about the hereafter was when we did life insurance, right?
Okay, right. And that was like still product basis. It wasn't really hereafter,
Yes,
like in depth,
yes,
right?
correct. It was just timely and it fell into place. It was really side by side. Like he started the process and then
You took it on.
yeah, so that was part of the plan as well. He said, kalau boleh, from now on, in fact, he would like me to take charge more and be clearer with what we want as a family. But I can't do that without the confidence.
Because confidence doesn't just fall from the sky. It has to come with literacy, leading you to clarity.
Correct.
So I want to ask you, when you were going through our 6 months Cohort 6 Women and Wealth workshop, which ended last year in December, how was that journey like for you? What was some of the things that was a really major breakthrough for you? Because you already started as a life planner in Takaful. What were the new additional things that you did not get elsewhere that you got through Women and Wealth?
There's a lot, right?
Okay. Narrow it down to 5.
I just keep it brief. So obviously the first lesson, Terus, I think that was a bit of a surprise for me. Like we went into depth about our trauma.
Right.
Like something that I struggled with to look into because it's so
It's so internal.
yes,
It's so deep inside.
Actually, I cried on stage. I didn't even realize. I was like, oh my god. So that was a breakthrough, right? Like it goes deeper. So everything else was strengthening what I already have. One of the things that I shared with you that really helped me along the way was the KISS concept.
So we have a KISS concept, okay? Kalau nak tahu, you have to come to Women and Wealth lah.
It was really helpful because it helped me make better decisions in my day-to-day, my finances, my family. I just feel like, why didn't I do this before? But sometimes it's something that you knew, but it just took someone to remind you.
Another perspective. It has always been there, right? In front of your eyes, but because we are bombarded with responsibilities day to day. So it's not really your fault or anybody's fault that you overlook.
And it's good to be reminded, and also I appreciate that you reminded us all to play again. That was really nice.
Did you enjoy the horse riding?
Yes, I did, and I was surprised that I actually liked the archery. Yeah, just to play again. It's really underrated.
We don't play, right? When was the last time you played?
Yeah, nothing is really for play. It was like really with a goal. Like exercise, I go boxing. Okay, there's a goal for it, but I try to make it as fun juga lah kan. Nothing like horse riding.
I mean, I'm just going to the extreme horse riding, but other than horse riding, I hope you've been playing, doing fun things for yourself. Have you?
I go to boxing classes. My fun is that I started to use Malay songs.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of Malay song?
Inspired by that class, this is a specific instructor I tried. He uses Malay songs for his boxing classes.
Right.
And that inspired me to make my gym sessions, my workout sessions more fun. So I started choosing Malay songs now today.
Me too. It's because of Bas. Bella Astila said rarely listen to Malay songs, but because of them, I'm listening. I have a Malay playlist right now.
Oh my god. But it works.
It's amazing what Allah has done to the both of them and to the rest of us who's like on this entourage of Bas.
I think it's a nice escape for most people, right? Just to see these two people falling in love.
So coming back to Women and Wealth. So that was your transformation. What was your breakthrough for you during the program before we go to after?
During the program, I have learned to manage my money better. In the process, I think I shared with you about wanting to help my mom as well. So I've included that in my budgeting.
Oh, that's nice.
So
bless your heart.
Inshallah, thank you. I think it's more structured, it's clearer. So I have fixed that amount for my mom and then for my Hajj. It's just more structured, it's just clearer for me.
And you know that it's achievable. It's just a matter of time, right?
And I feel more confident in that sense that, okay, I know what I want. I know what I want to do with my money, or compared to before, say, I'll probably just be spending it mindlessly. So today, every time I get some money in, I dah tahu what date that I will put in this amount of money to what causes and for who. It feels liberating where I know what I want to do.
You have always known. It's just that perhaps because of life, you prioritize other people. It feels liberating.
Liberating to feel in control a bit. Because I think I have given a lot of time, as you said, to other things and taking responsibility for different things. It was liberating to be able to control that myself. Yeah, alhamdulillah for the rezeki lah, because we have, at the end of the day, you can't, it goes back to the resources, right? I can't do all this without the resources, and the resources part is, it can never stop, right? You're always just trying, see what works, just keep trying.
Alhamdulillah. So that was 6 months. I think that's quite, I can't even quantify your transformation because you know it's intangible, it's forever. So I pray that Allah gives us all the blessing, you know, for you transforming your finances, your life. Now there is a chapter that I really want to know, and I hope you can share with our audience, which is post Women and Wealth. You told me a very big important news, another relocation. Maybe you can walk through our listeners if they are also in the same predicament where they want to relocate. What would be the things that they have to prepare first? Like what did you do for your family and your finances?
As I shared, we received the good news in somewhere end of last year. I think I shared with you that I was a bit nervous, excited and nervous at the same time, because there was a lot of things to consider, to think about, to plan, to do. So even right now we are in the midst of getting through our permits. There's a number of things to do with the knowledge that I have acquired from the program and confidence actually. It's really that, as you say, it's intangible, that I feel like, okay, I know what I want to do. I feel more confident, comfortable. What I did was I compartmentalized the months to what I want to focus on. So the first month would be, say, December, I start spring cleaning, because we are needing to let go of a lot of things, right?
You can't be moving everything to Denmark, right?
Yeah.
You'll be chartering the whole Airbus.
So we separated the two for Malaysia and for Denmark. Like that month, just focus on cleaning. Like I don't think about anything else. But obviously, before that, I've already compartmentalized the months, right? So assuming that we're living in like April or May. So we first did the spring cleaning, and after that we do the part of letting go and selling. So I was also trying to get as much from the sales.
What were the things that you sold?
Toys, a lot of toys,
really?
like the kitchen, like kitchen stuff. I still I keep lah. Sorry, but the toys when I let go, and clothes, shoes. I really applied kids a lot as well at the time, right? I was like, do I need it? Value? No, just very fast. So it was easier.
You didn't process, internalize, emotional attachment.
Yes, no. So I was like, wow, this minimalist living is starting already. Like, you know, like from kids on finances to just your everyday things as well,
the things
right?
that you live with.
Yeah.
You never knew that it was unnecessary.
Yeah, and also moving on. Like I have clothes yang macam from the past.
Oh, from college days.
And then fashion things that I thought that, I want to wear this style, but I'm a grown woman now. Why am I holding on to these things that I thought I would, right? So yeah, that was a lot of transition. So that was the selling the things and letting go. Bagi sedekah juga lah, like I give some to my family members and selling. So my intention was to use the money that we have gained from the sales to purchase, to help our purchases like baju winter, all these clothes.
Right, yeah, they're not cheap. I mean, with down jackets, it's expensive in Malaysia lah.
The first month was spring cleaning. Second month, selling and sedekah. The third month is shopping, you know, using the money from the sales.
So you didn't touch your savings or credit card?
Yeah, so that was
just rolling lah.
Correct. We try as much lah, just to let go of what we have. The fourth, I told myself, memang I nak focus on packing je. At that point, assuming that all these are cleared, so that my mind is clearer and I would know what exactly I need and I want to bring along. Because you can't bring everything. You realize that you really don't need much. It's a journey. I'm still not there yet. I'm in the process of, now it's purchasing time, but
must be fun. It's like our DNA, buy.
But postponing it kan, so we have more time to spend with family as well. And inshallah in May we will take off and start a new life there.
How do you envision your new life is going to be in Denmark? What do you see? What do you wish to happen over there?
One of the wish moving there, I really hope that it will benefit us all as a family. Like my husband can progress in his career, and my kids can have progress that I would like them to have, like adaptability, endurance, and to be able to survive and to have those skills set up for them in an environment where you have no choice but to survive and thrive. Actually, thrive was the word that I was looking for, and actually what we were using before we decided on moving. We would like our family to thrive. Also for me, I actually asked my mom to dua that I would give an opportunity to experience work life there as well, because
your kids would be bigger than
and they are known for the work-life balance culture, so I hope this will open up new opportunities for me as well.
And I pray that it will.
Inshallah. It can be pretty daunting and exciting at the same time. So I think we all look forward to it, inshallah, if Allah permits and everything is well, healthy.
Alright, thank you so much, Ruzanna. I actually look forward to your next phase of transformation over there. Because starting over in a foreign country without help, and this is like lagi jauh from Perth, right? Denmark is far away. So I wish that you and your family can settle down well, not just survive, but truly really thrive here to the hereafter, inshallah. So now my final question to you would be, what would be your 3 messages to all the women who's listening out there for them to draw inspiration from your story, from your journey? What would you like to say to them?
So the 3 tips that I would like to share is based on my own experience, where when I was young, asking about investment money, where I was dismissed or being told that, oh, don't talk about it until you have money. Tanyalah bila ada duit boleh cakap. I want you to know that don't let these words affect you, and believe that, as per this quote that I actually really like by Zig Ziglar, it actually says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. But I would also like to mix it up a bit by saying you don't have to have a lot to invest, but you have to invest to have a lot.
Beautiful, well said.
I learned that you can start small.
As small as?
As small as 100 ringgit that you can put aside or invest in. It's more than enough. You'll be amazed by what it can do to your growth. But also to share that even though our parents or family, whoever discourages you, but we also have to remember where they are coming from. They come from a different era, a different time. Understand that everyone has their own memory or past and experience that they have had before, and it's not the same. Our lives today is different. Our era today is different, where we have more opportunities, more awareness, more platforms. It's a completely different time back in those days where you have to go through a broker, so it does cost more money. And I understand where that is coming from. Don't talk lah until ada duit. Now we are in different era, so I hope it can change for us and our future generations, inshallah. Second, what I've learned along this financial journey is to raise my tawakkul. In the beginning of this process, this journey, I questioned a lot and I want exact specific answers to most things until I realized that I've lost tawakkul ke. When I realized that everything somehow falls into place, where we give our best, we do our best for our family, for our children, and the rest is for Allah, for Him to decide. It's in His plans, and trust His plans. He's the best of planners, right? So when we continue to have tawakkul, we learn to let go and let God do His work and His plans, and everything will just feel lighter for us. In a way, we get to live better because we'll be less stressful towards our family, kids, So
and finances as well.
Yeah, it's a whole character shifting. It's about you learn to let go a lot and put your trust in Him completely in everything you do. Thirdly is try to minimize the things you have, the financial platforms you have, or events you have, social gatherings. You just have to learn to minimize a lot of things and prioritize, because if we're only one person, we cannot do all, we cannot be all to everything to everyone. So when you learn to do that and keeping it simple, it keeps you healthy, mind and body. The best investment you can do is actually investing in yourself, empowering yourself with the knowledge that will help many others, like Aisya is doing right now. Just building a community of confident women that will help many others. So I applaud you to join the Women and Wealth workshop for yourself, for your children, and for the future of Ummah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Ruzanna, for sharing your nuggets of wisdom. Not even nuggets, it's like immense ingredients of life journey. You dah impart your knowledge and wisdom to everyone today. May Allah bless you and your family and your journey and your family here to the hereafter. That's the end of our podcast today. If you'd like to see more content like this, or if you have any questions, and if you want to explore collaborations, you can email us at marketing@aisharahman.com.